I'm back with another Trade Talking, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about X-Men Epic Collections Second Genesis. Now, the X-Men were somewhat popular in the 60s, but when the 70s came around, they got low in sales, and it got bad to the point where it was just a good amount of time for that the newer issues were just reprinted stories of the older issues and such. But Marvel wanted to have one last-ditch effort into making them popular again, and that was Giant Size X-Men, which this cover itself is one of the most well-known comic cover in comic history, especially in the Marvel community. Now, while the original X-Men members were trapped on the island, Professor Xavier decided to have mutants from all over the world to help him and rescue them. And looking at this lineup, you can tell he has some really good picks. And after they rescued the OGs, of course, the problem arose with how are we going to have this team of like 13 members? Well, I will say with as many powers on this team, they did the best they could, but their next mission was very problematic. Mainly because the writer, Chris Claremont, one of the most important writers of X-Men history, wanted to make sure that people understood how serious this series was going to be. And he made sure that the character actually did become unalive. And I really mean they became unalive. No clone, no time displaced, no, oh, I was okay. No, they X'd out of history. And they wouldn't be brought back to like a Crow era. That's how deep it was. Now, I will say because that character being alive, obviously this guy, because I know for a fact I've barely seen him, that it really did have an impact on the series as a whole and other members. Because now they realize, oh man, we could lose our life any day. I mean, they've been on missions, but either way, it was a few issues down the line where that the original X-Men members all left to do their own thing, except Cyclops, as he was still the leader. Storm became the leader, but it was like further down the line than this, and he wouldn't leave the team until later, which when he left, that's when X Factor became a thing. I'm getting ahead of myself though. This trade also has some milestones of the X-Men history, as you have the Phoenix Force showing itself, and this was like the first time that it actually became a big thing within the Marvel Universe. Now, you don't see Alpha Flight, but you do see the first appearance of Guardian, which he kind of lays the groundwork for Alpha Flight when it comes around, like issues down the line. It even has the first encounters with the Imperial Guard and Gladiator with the space section of the X-Men mythos. And his trade will face villains like the Sentinel, Magneto, Juggernaut, Eric the Red, and like a few others. Now, this trade alone isn't going to give you all the backgrounds of the newer characters for obvious reasons, but I will say there is some amazing storytelling. Again, Chris Claremont did an amazing job writing each character, making them individual. And like I said, it's just wonderful chemistry between these teams, whether they're friends, just fighting with each other, is great. And this is possibly one of the most diverse teams that ever came out, at least in the 70s of comic books. I haven't read all in the 70s, but I'm pretty sure this is definitely up there. Like I said before, you're an X-Men fan, you definitely want to read this because it got like some really good stories in it, especially some milestone Giant Size X-Men. You need to read it. You just really need to read it. But thank you for watching.